Welcome back on Polytech TV. We are going to talk now about smart cities. Smart cities protect the big and save the small with Vitor PEREIRA, who is editor-in-chief of Smart Cities magazine. Thank you, Vitor, for being with us on Polytech. We are very pleased welcoming you. You have developed extensive expertise over 20 years in the 5 cities, and in 2015 you have been distinguished Premium Personality Smart Cities Life. Tell us, over 20 years, the concept of smart cities and the technologies applied to the smart cities must have evolved. How have you seen it evolve in all cities, either big, either small? How has the smart city has evolved over these years? How have you seen it changed?
Hello, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for Polytech to invite me. Well, smart cities concept began with the technology, pure technology, digitalization of the process and the information. And from some time, some years ago, we just realized that smart cities need the human approach more than technology. And we realized also that technology will flood all the cities in the world. Normally, it's a normal process. It will happen normally in all cities. It's like putting a new pen or a new LCD or a new computer in the city. So basically, the smart cities is a process that will continue evolving in technology, like the world and humans evolved in technology, from a simple pen to the smartest computer we have right now, quantum computers. But we still have the human factor that still has to evolve also along with the technology. And that's concepts, they just mixed together some years ago. And we start talking about human smart cities, for example. It was a new concept that they came out to the discussion.
Digital tech is a tool. It is only a tool, but a powerful tool to achieve sustainability. Can you tell us how do we have digitalization and sustainable goals in cities converge?
Well, digitalization brought us something that we are right now is a word that everyone is hearing, like big data, for example. So right now we have data has been always important in the life of humans, and then now we have this data like a tool and very close, very close to us with the help of computers. So it's very easy to analyze all the data we have and find some information, rich and powerful information. Although I must warn cities that they can organize or manage their cities only with the rules of a computer based on data. There are things that must keep social approach. For example, I give you an example. If one city or a village nearby has only a family living there, and the computer tells us it's not sustainable to take a bus there daily, the city cannot cut this, simply cannot cut this bus because there's people they are living, still living there. So there must be always a component, a social component that must be financed by everybody, like a solidarity, always finance things like garbage treatment, waste treatment, water and energy, and of course mobility. So digitalization is important, big data also, but we still have to keep the power of decide and have the leadership to do the right politics.
You're talking, the human side is very important, you mentioned, but citizens have been empowered thanks to digital tech. We see it with Uber, we see it with Airbnb. What room is left today for citizens to get empowered thanks to digital tech? What room is left to citizens?
I normally, all these examples of cities that we know for the media, for example, I can give you one basic example. I think everyone knows Barcelona, or everyone knows other city, but I will talk about Barcelona. It's a really interesting case. Barcelona has deployed a big smart city project infrastructure with sensors, with the park sensors, with the energy, Wi-Fi, everything was connected. It was considered the most amazing smart city in the world in the last years. In the meantime, the people, the citizens from Barcelona are not happy, and they kicked the, I'm sorry for the expression, but that was what happened. They kicked the mayor that did Barcelona the smartest city in the world. They kicked him off, and they put another mayor there. And now the new mayor understands the message. It's not only about the sensors. People need to know what it is about, what it is for me being a smart city. Where's the business? Where can I have jobs for my kids? How can I be happy? How can I contribute? So this new mayor opened the power, empowered some neighbors, and shared the power. And when you share, people get committed also to be responsible for their own lives and the lives of the other citizens. It happened also in Medellin, for example. It was a big problem. Now Medellin, everybody knows Medellin, the case of Medellin. But Medellin started empowering some neighborhoods, the problematic neighborhoods with crime rates and so on. So they choose, the city choose the leaders in these neighborhoods and empower them with some tools and some resources. And they have to solve their own problems, and now Medellin is totally different from the one we have before. So, but at the moment they decided to share this power, they were not thinking about being smart cities. They were just trying to solve a problem. And that's what citizen empowerment is all about.
So what you mean also, the examples you give us is that the smart city needs to respond to practical needs to people, very practical.
It's all about the needs. When a community needs something, they cannot rely on the city management or city administration to solve it. And we see this, for example, in the refugee camps. I was with a mayor, because there's mayors from UNO, and then the mayor there said, I cannot do nothing about the refugee camp. They start organizing their own tissue, the society tissue and so on, and trying to survive as they can. Everybody knows how it's hard to live with the hard circumstances, with no infrastructure. So they created everything by themselves, and they raised a new smart city based on a refugee camp. Everyone thinks it's complicated to deal with this, but the truth is, when you have a problem, the community will find a way to solve it. And when you don't have administration or a power administration, defined administration, they will find the solution by themselves. And that's when you see thriving a lot of good examples in the world.
Interesting, people finding the solutions by themselves. Digital innovation is not only an opportunity for developed countries. We have great examples happening in southern countries, in emerging countries, where smartphones have changed and bettered the lives of millions and millions of people for communicating. We know in these countries they will never have landlines, for example. It has changed their life for payment. They pay through their smartphones. We have also examples in agriculture application. Do we see today a reverse innovation dynamics where emerging countries and the way they manage to use digital tech in their own way, the way they want it, can this inspire northern industrial countries?
I'm not sure what can inspire northern, but it's something very curious happening in the world right now in the cities. Everyone's talking about pilots everywhere. There's no money, there's no budget. Even for big corporations, they don't see where's the big deal in the smart cities, or if they see, they don't manage yet to go there. And the South and the other countries in the Africa and subdevelopment countries, for example, what I said before, they had to find a solution, and the solution doesn't have a lot of resources available, so they use what they have, and it works. And when it works, it's become an example. In the developed countries, we have this problem with everything must be tested, everything must be piloted. And normally we pilot in the other countries and then it works, but then we cannot bring them to the cities because the procurement process is very complicated, the budget is very tight, and there are not so many public-private partnerships working as they will. So there's a lot of factors that need to start breaking silos. Breaking silos in European Union, for example, there are silos in the European Union administration, silos in the countries, in the governments, and silos in the cities. It's impossible to deal with energy, for example, energy efficiency, when the energy is spread by 7 departments, and each department has a director, each department has a mayor or some representative from the public. So the first step is to skip the silos, or at least break them down, and then create the right conditions, communicating with people, empowering empowering the team, and then the politicians themselves. And then maybe we can have something working very soon. Some of course, there are exceptions. There are a lot of projects already deploying and already working. But we see most of the time is like most of these projects are based on academic or research, and they still have the citizen don't see it yet. But they will, at least I hope they will very soon. That's important, that they see something in the next years.
Okay, thank you. Still a lot of things we see will evolve. The world is changing, the world is transforming. Thank you very much, Victor, for being with us, and thank you.
Thank you.
Polytech TV continues now. Thank you.